Hello, guys and gals, animal friends, and spirit pals. Welcome back to Spirit Whisper Channel. Hi. Alaska sees something. There was a moth flying in here. I think she sees it. Greetings from my doggies. The other one's behind me. You can't see her. She's tucked in there, tucked deep within me. Alaskan Buttercup. I don't see any cats in here right now, but they might show up at any moment, because I know what camera hogs they are. And speaking of animals, I noticed that last time the dog was barking. Now, I didn't even hear it in the slightest the whole time. The only way I knew was that you guys told me, and when I went to look, I went, oh no. No, somebody told me about an orb, and I went to look for it, and I went, was that their dog is barking? I never heard it once the whole time. Because when I get into my my circles, my channeling state, and I'm channeling, and I'm doing cards and all that, I know it might not look like it, but it's like an altered state. I've been doing it so long now that it can seem a little, casual or normal, but you usually can tell because my eyes go closed. But anyway, I'm more focused on listening inwardly instead of outwardly, and so, honest to Pete, I don't even hear a thing. A little weird. I mean, I guess there could be I guess if there was a big explosion or something, I might hear it. That's also a noise I'm used to, because he'll do it from time to time. He's fine, but he loves to bark, and once he starts, you can't get him to stop. No matter what, he just has to get through his little cycle there. Then he stops. Such is life. Okay. Also, you guys reminded me that September 19th is supposed to be the sentencing date for the Oompa Loompas. 34 counts of criminality. 34 convictions. It's already been convicted by a jury of his peers. We're waiting for the sentencing, which is supposed to happen on the 19th. So I want to know, what does that sentence look like? I believe the judge has thought about it a little bit. He's probably put some thought in it. I know he's fair-minded. I feel like he would do this. It's going to be basically the same kind of thing he would do for anybody else convicted of that many things. In addition, I don't know if he's had a lot of people break gag orders and threaten and all that as much as the Oompa did. So I think that's going to be included in there. I also think it might be just a little more sharp than we're expecting. But let's see here. What else? What other cards? Okay, we have one more cup. One more card. There's a lot of cups that I'm looking at. Down here, let's see. One more card for the sentencing. mean, can they appeal a sentencing? I'm wondering. I guess so. I don't know. I don't really spend a lot of time defending myself in court, so forgive me. So, I was asking, like, what does it look like this sentencing might be? Well, it's not going to be that good. He's going to be sad about it. And there's loss. I don't know if there'll be a lot of women crying about it, but he's going to be sad. The judge will be fair, and that's that. He's going to, that's just the way he is. He's like a fair guy. He's going to be fair and just, but I don't think he's going to, like, what is it, waste this opportunity. That might not be the right words, but I think he's going to, you know, make a statement with this case and everything that he inherited. This is going to be fair, but just. And then I get the Eight of Cups, which I get this, I've been getting this card now all the time with the Trumpster, and see him walking away. From the Cups. You know, it feels like, you know, I don't really get like jail. I don't ever get it like a jail card, but it does feel like some kind of isolation or limits your walking about or something. There's probably also going to be some kind of limits about what he can do in New York City or something, you know. Something like that. About doing business or something. That's probably part of it. All in all, I think we'll probably be pleased. I don't feel like we're going to want to, you know, stormpede the courthouse or anything. It feels like, all in all, but there may be some postponement of it, you know. Waiting for the ship to come in. So it might be the sentencing, or like if he gets to go somewhere, it might be after the election. I don't know how that would work, if you could postpone it or something. You know, like say you have to report to a loony bin like November 12th. Yeah, I don't know about that. Something. But the world is watching, and he knows it, the judge, and he's not really planning on screwing it up. He's not going to let him get off with nothing. It's going to be something. Let me pull a couple of these cards just to add a little more substance. You know, it feels, is it going to happen on the 19th, or are we going to, is it going to be pushed again or something? Well, you know, of course, once the blues get the win, then we're going to see a lot more justice and stuff happening. Because we don't have that, you know, well, depending on how big of the blue wave is, and if we can get all three branches, we can really just move right along. It's interesting because these cards. So a lot about, you know, the outcome of the sentencing and all of that depends on the vote, whether we like it or not. Because I think even if he sentences him to like a jail sentence, you know, of months or something, he'd have, I don't think he would, I don't think, now I don't know, I would like it if it was like you have to go right now, but I don't know if he will, because it feels like it's too much, because, you know, he's running for president. Okay, thank you, cards. That's what I thought. Alrighty. So, I get the clock. You know, the cards are trying to tell me that the actual result will happen after the election. Because if the blue wins, so does justice. And it's going to come down on him. If the blue wins, they bring the emperor down. And it's a harsh judgment. Like, it's got all the, you know, all the law there. But if the red wins, no, it's just upside down. You know, he won't end up serving any time. So it's kind of it's still a little bit of a waiting game. And again, it just reminds us again, I know you guys all know I'm preaching to the choir, but we got to all vote. Alrighty. In order to make life better here on the earth and on America. Alright. So, what else did I want to read on? Somebody asked me if those hacked emails were going to amount to anything. You know, the emails. I don't know if they will or not. I feel like the Democrats already say they weren't going to use the information or anything. We just have way too much integrity. Is anything going to come of the hacked emails? That's our question. Anything going to come of the hacked emails? Well, that's looking like, yes, probably something. Okay. After all that crap he did with Hillary Clinton. Well, judgment. That would be like, yes, there's going to be some judgment coming. You know, some criticism, some analyzing, some, you know, reviewing the email. So that makes me feel like there will be something, and it won't be that great. Look at this card. And Nine of Swords. So there's some worrisome stuff in there. And if it's brought to the surface, brought out into the public, it would be hard for somebody to sleep. Looks like we're studying them and looking them over, and whoever got them, we're looking it over, and it looks like Department of Justice is involved in it. Look at all those like sheriff stars and guns and hats and all that. It's also the Three of Pentacles. So you're getting together, working on it, checking it out, examining it, studying it, the emails, particularly the ones that talk about money or Ten of Pentacles, like inheriting money or money coming from some old white guy somewhere. So it looks like some of it will come out, but it might be selective, not all of it. Some of it, something about it probably will. But that's the sun upside down. So I don't know if we'll know all of it, but maybe choice bits, especially if it's about like money from overseas or something like that, like illegal dark money. Okay, now somebody from South Dakota asked me if a guy named Johnson, I can't remember, I don't think they're a senator, I think they're in the House Representatives, if he was going to keep his seat. I don't know the dude, but I said I'd look anyway. So this guy's name is Johnson, South Dakota representative. Does it look like they might flip his seat to blue? I know this guy's like a red, What do you think about that? About Johnson. South Dakota. Okay, well, don't look that good for him. It looks like his opponent is all fired up and has a little extra, actually, fire behind him. It might be because of Kamala. It feels like he got an extra boost. He's all up raring to go. Now, this would be his opponent. I don't think you didn't give me their name. I don't think he's won a lot of favors in South Dakota with the women. They're a little stirred up. When we get this too, that kind of brings up the things about pregnancy, fertility, all that. The women aren't really wonderfully for this Johnson guy. And I feel like they're going to vote him out. Ten of Swords, ending, failure, defeat, ruin. Hit the road, Jack. Sending him on the road. Get out of here. Move along. Move along. Moving on. Moving on. So, there you go. Now, I didn't know a thing about him, so I did not influence those cards in any way whatsoever. But it certainly didn't seem like he's going to keep his seat. Okay. Now, I'm not one to beat a dead horse, but Let's beat it. I'm going to look again at the Democratic National Convention because it's still bugging me. So I'm just going to look general energy of the Democratic National Convention. I want to go 19, 20, 21, 22. I'll probably draw 2 cards for each day. Let me start with this here deck. Is it upside down? Yeah, let's put it right side up. See about that. Beat it. Beat it. So the 19th. How's the energy at the DNC on the 19th? Like it? Of course, I always get a great card for the first day. Now, how about the 20th? 2-0, the second day of the convention. What do you think? What do you think, cards? What do you think? Okay, well that looks better. See, I'm hoping the energy's changing as we move closer and closer. We're getting awful close because it starts on Monday. Okay. Okay, so I got those 4 out. I'm going to do one more deckaroo. Let's try. Do I want to do this deck? No. I'm going to do this one. Okay. So let's look again for the first day of the convention, which will be Monday the 19th, also the full moon. How's that gonna go? Okay, wow, looks pretty great. I do feel like the convention itself's gonna be good. It just feels like there's some little hiccup in there that might not even be connected to the convention. It just happens during the week of the convention. Okie dokie. And then the third day. Okie dokie. So on the first day, the 19th full moon, I did 2 decks, and the first card I got is Ace of Pentacles. Sounds great. It's all blue too. This is a very, very blue card, like a winning day for the blue team. And the Ace of Pentacles would also represent the first day, the start of it, and it's a good, healthy day. And then the other deck, I got the Sun. So, they start off great. Happiness, energy, all good stuff. And then we get to the Knight of Cups on the second day. That makes me feel like this might be the vice president. Maybe there's some attention about him or something. About Tim. I mean, the vice presidential, nomination. I don't know when Joe's talking. I think he's speaking the first day. But then, talking about this night and how he's going to be helpful. Then you also get the Page of Cups. But there's a little surprise that comes up towards the latter part of that day or that evening. I got that before when I was pulling 3 cards per day, it was like the morning's great, the afternoon's great, then the evening it gets a little wonky donk. So this looks like a surprise message. Maybe on the second day, and then the third day, there's worry. It's worrisome. So that message may have been like a little bit worrisome. Because this might be like 2 into 3 kind of a thing. But again, I think the convention goes on. There's the Queen of Wands. Kamala, there's a lot of energy and stuff about that. Even though there's kind of a little bit of a worrisome energy in the air. Could be some news about something. And then on the last day, 10 of Cups for the Democratic. Great, successful. Everybody's together on one team. It's like we're not split. It's kind of like one big happy family, ready to move forward. But lingering there on that day is this 4 of Swords, which is probably related to that 9 of Swords. So, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint because the energies, there's all kinds of stuff happening at the same ding dang time. Like, this could easily signify that, like Jimmy Carter could, have a downturn and pass. I've seen that, the Republicans are likely to try to stir up some kind of shenanigan. So it could be that. It also feels like the weather's about ready to burst at any minute. So it could be something like that as well. So, I kind of, it's like things are going, there's a lot of things moving at the same time, and there's different possibilities. It's kind of, in a way, it's easier to change midstream or just to make a dramatic switch. So it's getting to be a little harder to pinpoint some things. And I'm not just making up excuses. I'm just saying. So before we end tonight, so that still looks like there's some kind of news about something that's, sad or worrisome. But I don't think it's not any detrimental effect to the convention. And so at that time I was just looking at the convention, not really looking at individuals at the convention. Just, that's kind of the energy of that. I am going to pull a couple more cards. Let me just pull some about Mother Nature and the weather for this coming week. I'm going to say from now till the end of August. Now, like I said before, you're kind of hard pressed not to find some kind of weather shenanigans happening every day somewhere or somewheres, like multiple places. Shenanigan, not fun, weather. And when I say weather, I also mean like natural energy, because I don't know that I could call earthquakes weather or volcanoes weather, but Mother Nature acting up. And it's acting up all over the place. Probably right where you live, there's something odd about the weather. So that's going on all the time. And I know that's going to continue. Like, here comes that other hurricane. And it's building. It's possible that could be here during the convention. But let's see. What's going on with Mother Nature? Try to be as clear as you can with me, because you know how slow I am, Mama Nature. Okay. La. So we're looking at now until the end of August. Swords. So we got about, 2 more weeks of August, or 2.5, something like that. The thing it is, when I look at this too every time, and I kind of would like it to narrow it down to like one thing, but it's really hard because it's just like everything's acting up. It's like Pan has said over and over to me. And then it's like a rockabilly time as far as Mother Nature, everything really. Okay. What's the matter? Are you crying? Are you whining? Are you dreaming? So the energy that's coming out, hi baby, the energy that's coming out the most is water and air. So that's talking to me a lot about this hurricane energy. So first thing, and these were the cards that came out kind of on top, so that makes me think that's probably the first thing we're looking at soon. It's like more, so it's Ace of Cups, water, upside down water. So water flooding, coming to where it isn't supposed to be, not like a wonderful cup. Let's see, when I turn it upside down, then the fish are like swimming. So water spilling out of the cup, which then it's next to the Knight of Swords. So it's spilling water. Now, remember, so water is cups. Swords are air. So it's like, and it's Knight of Air. So he's pretty aggressive. Lots of time when you see this Knight of Swords, his horse is charging and just busting forward. So it's a pretty strong, if I'm looking at weather, pretty strong wind mixed with water. So that makes me think about what? About a hurricane. Then I get the Page of Cups. Which is, a watery surprise. So I'm wondering about this, if there might be 2 hurricanes or storms, sea storms back to back. Of course, we just had that one, so these are kind of back to back, but it feels like there could be one and then another one right behind it. More water, surprising, more under the water. and more wind. So then we get the Ten of Swords. So this card looks underwater. It's like that he's under the water. It's the same color as those other sea cards. But it's like wind creating damage. See how that wind's all up all around him? It's all up and down. And if you can see the blue, it looks like it's got water all around it. So that looks like doing some damage. Not just water, but wind damage. And then as we get on into the next week, I'm getting the Knight of Coins, because I've been feeling, it's already happening, but I don't think it's done. So then we're getting some earthquake energy here. With more water. Now there could be like an underwater quake or fault that's under the water, or again, I didn't get wands in this pull, so I don't see a lot of fire, but I do still feel like the volcano stuff happening. So they're kind of meant, it's kind of the time we're living in, and it's all to bring about balance. Ultimately, it's to bring peace, the Star card, the dream come true. So you get the moon, all these major arcana. It's about the times we're living in, and this energetic spiritual shift, and the weather, Mother Nature, is affected by it. And will continue to give us things to howl at, so to speak. There's still more to come. And I didn't get that. So that was a lot about wind and water, if I'm looking at it that way. But I am curious about like this volcano thing I still keep. How's that looking for the rest of August? Volcanic energy. I know there's already some that are erupting. There's tons of earthquakes happening already. Smaller, and hopefully that means they're just all this smaller, small is relative, but is preventing a bigger thing. Releasing the pressure in smaller doses. But I'm just asking about volcanoes in particular, just because I'm curious and weird. Okay. Okay. Well, you can at least tell the cards are listening, because the last time it was all swords and cups, and this time it's all pentacles and wands. So at least they're listening to me. So, I was asking about volcanoes. So the first card they gave me is the King of Wands. And I'm thinking about wands as fire. This would be like the King of Volcanoes. There he sits with his fire stick in his hand, ready to go. Now under him, I got this Two of Wands. Like, where in the world is Waldo? Looking to see where I'll release some energy, some steam, some fire. Like here in the King card, looks like he's looking off work. Where's the best way to blow? And then I get the Nine of Pentacles. This is bringing up that thing I've had before, that it's there aren't volcanoes going off and stuff, but these are ones that we're kind of used to, or they're, at least the people that live there are. But this feels like it's in a place that's not usually, it's peaceful, you're pleasant, you don't really have a lot of cares, you're not super worried about the earth under your feet, about the earth moving. It feels like it's all in place. But underneath that is a little Page of Pentacles, like a little surprise. Surprise! I'm upsetting your Pentacle card. So, I don't know. That shaking, volcanic, fiery energy looks like it could be at a place that usually doesn't have it. And it creates a tower. And see, this card looks the most like a volcano. It's got all that fire in the top of it, blowing out the top, and even these little things falling out, like ash or lava spilling over. So the cards are not going to let me let the old volcanic energy go. They're related too, because like the volcanoes and earthquakes are sometimes related. They don't always happen at the same time, but you can have an earthquake and then a volcano, or a volcano can trigger an earthquake, so they can interact. I did get one more, like just the Four of Disc here at this city, so it looks also like volcano. I don't mean volcano, earthquake, like you're trying to hold on. You're holding all your possessions tight. Earthquake in the city. So, not on the out, it's kind of like in the city, that's where it hits. And the Devil, just because he had to show his face in this one. It's all part of the clearing away energy that no longer supports the Earth's evolution. That's what this weather stuff is. And it's dramatic, and it's a lot, but also I know that it's necessary. So even with that was a lot. It was a lot of like, now I don't know when, because I think my question was just, I just want to look at earthquake and volcano. I don't know, but it feels like summer. It feels now, like soon. It's already happening, for one thing. So there's already volcanoes and earthquakes happening, like right now, in the moment. And so this just feels like it continues, and it might reach to this kind of thing. And then just one other, I got two other cards. This one, so I got two cup cards, the Seven of Cups. So sometimes it'll be a lot, and sometimes not. So sometimes there can be some aftermath stuff, or you might think, like, you think, oh, I live on this biggest earthquake, I'm absolutely sure, but it doesn't go there, it goes somewhere else. So there's all this, it's hard to guess where and how the next thing's going to happen. Even though all of that, it's still, we come out okay. We still come out on top. We might be wet and a little shooken up, but we come out the better for it. Okay, well, that was long. All right. That wasn't meant to scare you, but when you see that kind of thing happen and you go, oh no! Just know it's part of the process. And it's part of the time we're living in. The truth being pushed to the surface. Literally, figuratively, and always is push, 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 push. Okay, guys. Well, I hope that was fun. It was different. Anyway, I don't really see a lot of people reading on the weather, and it is hard to pick up on it. And I haven't really done it much with cards. Again, I always just listen inwardly. So it's kind of practicing it for me using the cards. And we'll see if, just how much I'm able, how much I'm interpreting that correctly or not, right? It's all for entertainment purposes only, of course. Okay, guys, I love you all, a bushel and a peck and a hug around the neck. And I'll see you again real soon. I love ya.